Welcome to History's Mysterious Minds, an audio journey into the strange, the forgotten, and the mysterious side of our history. Here, we explore unusual legends, unexplained sightings, ancient folklore, and the curious stories that blur the line between myth and reality. Some mysteries are thousands of years old, others are surprisingly modern. Tonight's story comes from the rugged coastline of Cornwall in southwest England, a place where crashing waves meet dark cliffs, where fishermen have worked the sea for centuries, and where strange things have occasionally been reported rising from the water. This is the legend of the Morgawr. The name Morgawr comes from the Cornish language. It means sea giant. According to local folklore, Morgawr is a massive sea serpent said to inhabit the waters around Falmouth Bay in Cornwall. Stories describe it as a long-necked creature with dark skin, sometimes compared to a sea lion or a reptile rising from the depths. Like many sea monster legends, Morgawr is said to appear suddenly. A long neck breaking the surface, a hump moving slowly through the water, then disappearing just as quickly as it appeared. The modern legend of Morgawr began in the 1970s. In 1975, two people walking near Pendennis Point claimed they saw something unusual in the sea below them. They described a large creature with a humpbacked body and a long neck moving through the water. The sighting caused excitement in the local area. Soon, other reports began appearing along the Cornish coast. Fishermen claimed they had seen something large swimming offshore. Others reported strange shapes rising briefly above the waves. Some described a creature perhaps 30 feet long. Others claimed it was much larger. One description compared it to a crocodile with 4 webbed feet and a powerful tail. The sightings seemed to cluster along a stretch of coastline between Rosemullion Head and Toll Point. This area eventually became known as Morgawr's Mile. Locals and visitors alike began watching the sea more closely. Every unusual ripple or distant shape became a possible glimpse of the mysterious creature. Then came the photographs. In 1976, images of what appeared to be a sea monster surfaced in a local newspaper. The pictures had supposedly been sent by a mysterious person known only as Mary F. They showed a dark, long-necked shape emerging from the sea. To some readers, it looked convincing. To others, it looked suspicious. The man connected to these photographs was a Cornish artist and magician named Tony Shiels. Shiels claimed to have seen the creature himself. He even said he had photographed it near the coast. Soon after, more sightings were reported. 2 fishermen claimed they had seen the creature near Lizard Point. Another alleged sighting occurred near Mornan. And years later, a writer named Sheila Bird claimed she saw something strange while walking along the cliffs near Gerrans Bay. The story was spreading. Newspapers reported on the mystery. Tourists began asking about the sea monster of Cornwall. The Morgawr had become part of local legend almost overnight. But not everyone believed the story. Some investigators began looking closely at the photographs and reports. Questions were raised. Where exactly had the images come from? Who was the mysterious Mary F? And why did the sightings suddenly begin in the 1970s? Over time, many folklorists and researchers came to an unusual conclusion. The Morgawr might not be an ancient legend at all. Instead, it may have started as a deliberate hoax. Several researchers believe Tony invented the creature as part of a playful trick on the public. According to this theory, Shiels created the name Morgawr and helped stage photographs of the creature. The mysterious letter may have been part of the performance. Once the story appeared in newspapers, the legend took on a life of its own. But here is where things become truly fascinating. Even if the original sighting was a hoax, the legend did not disappear. Instead, it grew. People continued reporting strange shapes in the sea. Stories were retold. New witnesses came forward. In other words, a fictional creature may have become real folklore. This is actually quite rare. Most myths develop slowly over centuries. They grow gradually as stories pass from generation to generation. But the Morgawr legend may have formed almost instantly through modern media. Newspaper stories sparked curiosity. Curiosity encouraged sightings, and sightings reinforced the legend. Soon, Morgawr joined a long list of mysterious creatures reported around the world, creatures like the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland, or sea serpents reported by sailors throughout history. The ocean has always inspired stories like these. It is vast, dark, and largely unexplored. Even today, much of the deep sea remains a mystery. For centuries, sailors have reported strange shapes beneath the waves, massive shadows moving through fog, unknown creatures surfacing briefly before diving back into the depths. Some of these sightings were probably misidentified animals, large seals, whales, or even floating debris seen from a distance. But sometimes the stories become something more. They become part of a place's identity, a legend that belongs to the coastline itself. In Cornwall, the Morgawr has become exactly that, a modern sea monster legend woven into the culture of the region. Visitors sometimes scan the water from the cliffs, just in case something surfaces. Even today, occasional sightings are still reported along the Cornish coast. A hump in the distance, a long shape moving through the water, a ripple that doesn't quite behave like the waves around it. Of course, no physical evidence has ever proven the creature exists. No skeleton, no clear photograph, no confirmed scientific discovery. Yet the legend continues. And perhaps that is the real story behind Morgawr. Not whether a sea monster lives in Falmouth Bay, but how easily mystery can grow from imagination. A photograph in a newspaper, a rumour told in a harbour pub, a strange shape glimpsed through sea mist. Together, these small moments can create a legend powerful enough to last decades. The Morgawr may never be discovered swimming through the waters of Cornwall, but its story reminds us that folklore is still alive, even in the modern world. Sometimes the greatest mysteries are not ancient ruins or lost civilizations. Sometimes they are stories we create ourselves. Stories that capture the imagination. Stories that travel across newspapers, conversations, and generations. Stories that transform hoaxes into folklore. And somewhere along the cliffs of Cornwall, where the Atlantic meets the land, people still watch the water, just in case the sea giant rises again. You've been listening to History's Mysterious Minds, an audio podcast exploring the strange, the forgotten, and the mysterious side of our history. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with others who love uncovering the hidden stories of the past. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, because history still holds mysteries waiting to be discovered.